Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It is the late show with Nights with Ping. How are you? Thought I would jump back on because the last show got so interrupted with the storms. I was like, well, we could probably hop back on and do a couple more stories for the rest of the day. And I don't know if anyone will show up because it didn't have any alerts. We'll see. Hey, Jojo, good to see you. Yes, I'm back. I'm back for a little bit. The storms have now passed in Melbourne, so there's no threat of any more lightning or hail. The hail was crazy. I've never seen hail so large in this area before. It was pretty like some of them were like hen egg size, which is pretty big for here. Hey Amy, how are you? Good to see you. So I wanted to talk about this case from Australia. Let me get it. Let me get it all put on the screen and stuff. Yeah, in me Crocodile Dundee voice. All right, here we go. Jojo says the only one who complained was named November Rain. She should have understood with a name like that. I know, that's what I thought too. Hold on. Hey guys, how are you? Good to see you. Whoop, almost dropped that. There we go. All right. So it says Jackson was found dead in a field of magic mushrooms with a hunting knife sticking out of his chest. His death was treated as non-suspicious, but now there's a haunting theory behind his demise. This is the weirdest story. It's the death of a young Melbourne man who was found in, again, a field of magic mushrooms with an 18 centimeter hunting knife. How big is that? Let's see. 18 centimeters equal inches. It's like a 7-inch knife. It's pretty large. And it says his name was Jackson Stacker. He was 26, whose badly decomposed body was found under a tree on August 25th, 2021, with his scalp and dreadlocks found separately. When Mr. Stacker's body was found at Pottsville in New South Wales, Tweed Shire, the police believed it was a suicide, but at an inquest in Lismore on Monday, a police officer was asked if there was a more sinister explanation. Byron Bay detective Donna Tutt was questioned about whether she knew of any human sacrifices or cults in the northern New South Wales area, but she said she wasn't aware of any in that area. It says Stacker's mum, Sandy, insists her son did not take his own life, saying there was no history of suicide or poor mental health in the family. There's a photo of him, and there's another one of him with a female. It might be his mum. Yeah, that's his mum. There you go. I thought it might be a girlfriend. They almost look alike. Um, it says Miss McFarland and Mr. Slacker had never told. Hey, Miss McFarland, his mum, said her son had never told her he was depressed, and that there was no note or evidence to suggest it was a suicide. She says, "I don't believe my son would have taken his life. He had so much going on for him." Last time she spoke to him was on July 22nd, 2021. He sounded anxious and mentioned he had lost his job. A few days later, she put $300 in his bank account and wrote, "Call me," in the payment description. When she did not hear back from him, she was worried, but didn't tell anyone else because of fears she didn't want to cause panic. Miss McFarlane was not able to get through any time she tried to call her son, and it sounded like his phone had been switched off. Mr. Stacker, who had been traveling in his Toyota Hiace van since 2020, was reported missing by his family on August 23rd, 2021, after they were contacted by a person wanting to buy his abandoned vehicle. Yeah, so someone saw his abandoned vehicle on the side of the road, and they literally called up the family asking to purchase it, thinking it was you know, uh, maybe it had a busted motor or something, and they could buy it for cheap and fix it. So that's an awful way to be told, like, this is probably where your son's body is. And it says the inquest heard that when his skeletal remains were found 2 days later, it was face down, covered by his fur coat, and with the 18 centimeter blade sticking out of his chest. His scalp and dreadlocks were found separately, some of his teeth were missing, and his boots were found meters away from his body. They said a fox or wild dog could be to blame for the state of his body, which may have been in a field 40 kilometers north of Byron Bay for up to a month. But it's the knife in the chest for me. I don't think that's like a common way to kill yourself, is it? Because it's not like instant and it's super painful. I mean, I'm sure death is painful in some other ways, but it doesn't seem like something people do. They don't just grab a large knife and start hacking into their chest. Yeah, I agree with his mom that maybe there's something else there. As apparently, Detective Tutt said the kind of knife found in the deceased chest was a common type used by someone camping or living in a van. State Coroner Magistrate Teresa O'Sullivan heard that valuable items, including a phone, a laptop computer, a Nikon camera, were missing from Mr. Stacker's van. It could have been ransacked in the time that he was dead in the field and someone saw his van on the side of the road. His friend John said Mr. Stacker visited him in Nimbin in early August 2021 to pick up his tools. He was pissed about the whole COVID lockdown. He wasn't happy he couldn't do what he wanted to do. Mr. Weingarten said he told his friend he could stay with him, but he said no, he was going to go to the beach at Byron Bay. He said he found Mr. Stacker's behavior strange. He seemed upset. He wasn't happy go lucky Jackson. He was definitely quite depressed. And there's a photo of his van, the van that they found on the side of the road. Another photo of Mr. Stacker. There you go. He also said he later saw the High Ace van on a Facebook page, but couldn't remember when because he took too much weed, mate. Mia Kellis, uh, oh Keys, Mia Keys, 25, another friend of Mr. Stacker, told the inquest about an occasion when he seemed to be in a manic state and had worrying thoughts. She also said her friend sometimes felt down and was very affected by a murder-suicide involving a person they both knew. Apparently, the inquest continues. I find this very weird. It's, I mean, if it was any other way, you know, maybe he did, carbon monoxide or something, we've all heard of the ways. Just weird. And True Crime Sushi says, I don't want to test my hypothesis, but I don't think you can scalp yourself. No, I don't think you can either. Hey, Gambler. Danny Mitchell. Danny Mitchell, the chat celebrity. How are you, my friend? It's good to see you too. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope Florida is doing okay. Wait, hold on. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys and girls and octopus think about this story, but to me, it's very odd, and I'm not sure the inquest got it right. I'm pretty sure the inquest actually recorded an open finding, but I don't know. Where's his full name? I want to see what the actual coroner's inquest actually gave him. Here. It says an inquest into the death of Melbourne man Jackson Stacker aims to shed light on whether he took his own life or met with an accident or foul play. Mr. Stacker's family endured details about the discovery of his body during the first day of the inquest in Lismore. The inquest continues until Wednesday, with evidence to be given by forensic experts. So that's tomorrow. That'll be the last day of the inquest. We'll get a finding. Maybe tomorrow. Sometimes they push it away. Sometimes they say they need a couple of months to go through all the evidence and, make a finding. So we'll see. We'll see. But it says here, they estimate he'd been dead for about a month when he was discovered in the paddock. And they reckon that some of his bones were scattered far away. When his mum actually went to the location, get this, she was sort of like looking around the location and she actually found some of his teeth under a leaf. And she's like, what were you cops doing here? You guys didn't even check the area properly before bringing the family in? Anyway, They she made a complaint to the police. They ended up doing a line search of the area, and they ended up finding, like, fingers, more teeth, other bones, other items of interest that he may have owned, a bunch of other stuff, but on his person, they found a container of oil, matches, a lighter, a beanie, a roll of duct tape, and a blueberry vape. So, like a blueberry disposable vape. And it says here, this is a puzzle. There is a puzzle about this death, but it's not a whodunit. It's at heart, it is just of a much loved son. I don't know. What do you all think? Do you all think this is a just an open and shut case, or do you think maybe someone got to him? I mean, it was a really remote location, but you would think that for someone who has a van and likes to camp and stay in like beach places and that, there would be much easier ways to do what he did if it is a is a suicide. No, we're not doing that, Danny. We already did that. Um, hey Brenda, how are you? Good to see you. No, I we already did the whole depressing talk about the Niners. We're not doing that anymore. If you do, you'll end up with a 45-minute lecture from me about what they did wrong and what they need to improve on. And this is not a football channel, so oh, it's paradise this time of year. What time of year is it? Didn't you guys have a massive tornado down there? There was a tornado down there. We watched it on this channel the other day, actually. We saw it. It was like this monster tornado that was just tearing up the countryside in Florida. I could show you if I can find the photo of it. Yeah, this guy. Actually, there was a couple. There was one at Fort Lauderdale, and then there was this really awesome one near the water. Yeah, this guy. This one here. Look, check out this one. I think this is like a water spout, or a tornado that went onto water. You can see it. This is a pretty built up area too. There you go. There's the funnel, condensation funnel. Starting to move. Yeah, wow. Power flashes. Can only see the bottom of it, and it'll start to connect with the parent funnel above. There's the parent funnel. There it goes. Fully connected now. Hit a apartment block. Hit another apartment block. Oi, there we go. That looked really cool. Did you see that? It went all the way up into the funnel. Yeah, well, this is in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. That is really, really awesome. I don't know if that is a water spout or a supercell tornado, though. It doesn't say. And whenever you see those power flashes, you know you've got something pretty powerful. There it goes. Look at that. All the way down now. There you go. It tends to go all the way down when it can get some suction onto something. And that's what it's doing there. And now it's back over water. But yeah, I was a little far away from you, Amy, but yeah, I know. It was a pretty cool one. Oh, I know where you live. I'm just saying that's awesome. Yeah, I can't remember if they said the storm dissipated about 6:30. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty good one. Someone recorded it from a different location. What? From a cruise ship. Someone saw it. Oh, at least you're sort of safe, I guess. No injuries. So it was probably a water spout. Oh, okay. They're saying it probably was a tornado. Cool. Yeah. Every time I think of that, I'm like, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's right. Danny had been at the Super Bowl, partying with Taylor Swift, and then he's off to New York for Fashion Week, you know. Yeah, he shoved his coach. Shoved his coach at the Super Bowl. Swimming at night, be careful of alligators. They might get you. They might get you. All right. So we know about the strange death, and we'll keep an eye on the inquest. Finishes tomorrow. Where's the other one? If I can find it. So we'll go to London now. Look at this. Dramatic moment, police tasered acid attacker on London bus after he threatened driver and passengers. This is such a weird, um, like, like a thing that happens in the UK. People that throw acid onto people. It doesn't really happen in other countries, but in England, it's huge. It happens all the time, especially to women. Women who break up with men and stuff get acid thrown on them, or other jealous females will throw acid on them to disfigure them. It's a real horrible crime, and I don't really understand why they've got such a big epidemic of it. It's bizarre. It says, hold on. It says, this is a dramatic moment. Police tasered an acid attacker on a bus after reports he was threatening the driver and bus passengers with an unknown substance. Emergency services, including workers in chemical suits, stormed the 109 bus when it stopped outside homes in Croydon at 8:30 p.m. last night. Reports claim a man 44 boarded the bus in Brixton and started smoking before he took out a bottle reportedly containing a substance which alarmed passengers. Armed police surrounded the bus and asked members of the public to move away and stand back. Officers then approached the bus before an officer shouted over his megaphone for the man to stand up and make your way off the bus now before they stormed the bus to arrest the attacker. Two officers stood in the middle of the door of the bus waiting for the man to come down, after which they stunned him with a taser and wrestled him into a seat with police shields as they removed the potential corrosive substance. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why they do this acid attacks. It's so life-changing, so brutal. Let's watch the video for a second.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, he getting jumped. Ooh. He's on the side.
It'd be pretty frightening. Imagine if you're on that bus. Hey, Miko. He didn't shove his coach. The coach said he bumped into him and he lost his balance. Maybe.
He ain't hearing that.
Hey, Daydream Ride. How are you, my friend? We're talking over the megaphone to him. He really doesn't want to get off the bus, does he? He's like, nah, I'm going to sit here with me acid.
Ooh.
Oh, here they go.
Ooh.
Get his ass. Get him. If you were the cops, wouldn't you be worried that when you tackled him or whatever, or shoved him into a seat, that you might tip the acid? I would be. This is like the slowest police operation ever. Where are they?
Oh.
Let's see, where are the cops? Are they still negotiating with him? Oh, there we go.
Ooh.
Get
Ooh.
him.
Yeah, he getting jumped. Ooh.
They weren't playing around. They really got him. They're just like, have a shield. Have a shield in your face. Oh, man. I really hate these acid attacks, though. They're awful. I saw one where, for a while there, they were really common, and they started doing them in, like, shopping centers. So, like, gangs or whatever, or other people, they would get into, like, a crowded shopping center on, like, late night shopping on a Thursday night and just throw acid everywhere and scar people and blind them. It's really horrible. It's sort of quietened down a bit now. It doesn't happen as frequently as it was in about, like, 2018, 2017. It was happening all the time at one point, including to just a lot of women. A lot of women were very badly scarred or blinded from the acid, including one woman who was walking home and her ex-boyfriend, who she broke up with, was on a scooter, like a moped, and he drove past her and just threw a cup of acid in her face, and she was, like, rolling around on the ground, just like screaming, and people were having to try and help her, and then they were getting burns from trying to help her and get it off her face, and really horrifying. It's a weird attack method and a weird weapon that became so ingrained in the UK, like, violent culture. And now to see this guy who apparently what? Oh, jeez. Apparently someone just messaged me to say that where they are, the storm that came through a couple of hours ago snapped a bunch of trees at their workplace. It was a pretty violent storm. Um, yeah, so to see this guy wanting to possibly throw it on people on a bus where they have no escape. Like, I mean, you don't have any escape on a bus, do you? You're trapped until the bus driver opens the door. But I'm glad the police, they got into chemical suits, as you can see, blue chem suits, and then shoved a shield in his face. So they got him. What did they charge him with? Let's see. A 3 hour standoff between police and the acid-armed man. It is understood passengers left the bus and the substance had not been thrown at anyone. Nobody had been reported injured. The man had been confronted by passengers and the situation escalated quickly when the man took out a bottle of what was believed to be a corrosive substance. Did they charge him? Let's find out. Chemical experts were called to the scene to assess the substance. Police confirmed the substance not was found not to be harmful. What was it, like a bottle of wine or something? The yeah. So nobody else held hostage. The man made threats, and everyone else on the bus immediately got off. Substance was not thrown. Shortly before midnight, the 44-year-old man was arrested for a fray. The substance was found not to be harmful. A taser was discharged prior to his arrest, and officers believe the man had been taking drugs. He had been taking drugs. Okay. As a precaution, he was taken to hospital. His condition is not believed to be life-threatening. So they just got him on a fray. That's it. Let's see. Arrested for a fray in England. What does that get you? Says it's a serious offense of the law of common law, which carries a maximum penalty of 5 years imprisonment. That's pretty. It's big. They wouldn't give you 5 years, I don't think. It's you attacked another person's safety in a public place. Okay. You to use or threaten violence in a public area. Okay. So there you go. It's like if you fight with someone in public or something like that. Hey Potter, how are you? Oh, you have no power? Oh no. Did the storms really hit you that bad up north? I mean, there was a pretty big one that went north of me. That line, it just went huge. I can show you quickly. It spread out into a massive line. Here you can see the orange line east of us now, but it traveled through Melbourne at one point and was way more severe than this. This is actually lightened a bit. This is less like the colors down here, heavy, light. It was more red and black earlier. It was way more, thicker too. It's sort of fizzled out a little bit now, but as you can see, it was more like these end bits down here, these bits, but it was all the way up. Yeah. Actually, I might be able to show you what it looked like when it came over my house. Hold on. Let's see if I have it. Yes, there we go. This is what it looked like just before it hit me. It was a pretty substantial storm down here. Pretty substantial. And people were wondering why I stopped the stream because it was that and it was dumping like egg-sized hail at my house. So I had to go shut everything up at the time. Okay. We've seen about the acid attack. We've seen about the inquest into Australia. You know, remember last year when Nicola Bulley went missing? Apparently, a month ago, there was another woman who went missing, and I had no idea about this, but I'll show you. Her name was Gaynor Lord, and I know her name sounds very funny if you remove the Nor bit of her name, but we're not going to do that. We're very, very professional here, okay? And we don't make fun of dead people. And it says, so she went missing, right? She left work, she went missing, and her body was recovered in water too. Really bizarre. It says a body has been found in the search for Gaynor Lord, the 55-year-old woman who went missing after leaving work in Norwich last Friday afternoon. Although the body has not been formally identified, Lord's family have been informed a pair of divers could be seen recovering a body from the River Wensum, at about midday on Friday, nearly a week after she was reported missing. The area marked with an orange buoy was about 100 meters downstream from where the search had been focused the day before. Officers previously said there was a high probability Lord went into the river, near to where a number of her belongings were found, adding there was no evidence of third party involvement. It was a big thing for like a week over there, and I think that's why it really didn't make news in other places, like in Australia or the US, because it wrapped up so quickly. Unlike Nicola Bulley, where that really went into overdrive after the first, 5 days. This one just really didn't get a huge amount of media outside of the UK. But apparently it said she was due to finish work at 4 p.m., but left via a loading bay at 2:45 p.m. Was she sneaking out of work? And was reported missing when she failed to return home that evening. CCTV footage showed her leaving work, hurrying through the city centre, and visiting the nearby cathedral grounds before making her way towards a park. That doesn't sound good, does it? It's like she visited the church for like one last prayer and then to go to the. I hope that's not what happened. It says a member of the public found Lord's belongings, including clothing, a mobile phone, glasses, and jewelry, scattered through Wensum Park on Friday evening. Her olive colored coat was found in the river that runs through the park, and officers were able to identify her belongings via an ID badge found near her handbag. So you can see the footage of her like passing through the city. And they released this, it was a big deal. And when I saw this, I was like, reminds me so much of Nicola Bulley. And, the fact this woman also ended up in the water too. Or do you think she was in a rush and she slipped and fell into the river? This doesn't seem like a woman who's just about to go, you know, throw herself into the water. And she's not wearing that jacket either. She's only holding it. So it's not like she was wearing that jacket and took it off or something to jump in the water. Oh, oh, oh. Now she's wearing it. Oh, maybe then. Why would she take it off before jumping into the water, though? Why, in case it doesn't allow her to swim? I don't know. So I don't know if any of our UK people heard about this one. Hey, Beeslar Life, how are you? Oh my god, Danny's going to be so happy. Danny's going to be so happy. He's going to be happy and scared at the same time. Maybe happy scared. Mr. Roy, what are you sending me? Mr. Roy. Oh, okay. I'll have a look. Hold on. Something from Canada. From Mr. Gambler. Mr. Store. Mr. 9 p.m. at the store. Hold on. Stop that. What is this? First-degree murder charges laid in the deaths of 5 family members in Manitoba. 29-year-old Manitoba man has been charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder after he allegedly killed 5 members of his family, including 3 children. A family friend confirmed to CTV News Winnipeg the 5 family members were 30-year-old Amanda Clearwater, 6-year-old Bethany, 4-year-old Javen, 2.5-month-old Isabella, and 17-year-old Maya Grattan. The investigation started Sunday morning when RCMP were called to Highway 3 for reports of a hit and run. RCMP said on Monday a 30-year-old woman who was living common law with the suspect was found dead along the highway. Then around 10 a.m., officers were called to a vehicle on fire on Highway 248. Their 3 children were inside the car and they were all pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators originally reported a witness pulled the kids from the vehicle, but have since learned it was the suspect who pulled them out. The suspect was arrested at the scene of the fire. The investigation took place to a home in Carmen, where another female was found dead. Police said it was the family's 17-year-old niece. Investigators confirmed all of the victims lived together. RCMP have charged 29-year-old Ryan, how do you pronounce that? Manoiksik, with 5 counts of first-degree murder. The charges against him have not been proven in court. Inspector Tim Arsenault with the RCMP Major Crime Service said this is an unimaginable tragedy. Our thoughts are also with the community of Carmen, who are mourning the loss of an entire family. Young, innocent lives were senselessly taken yesterday, and we grieve with all Manitobians. Investigators are still working on putting together a timeline of when everything happened. Said autopsies happened Monday and are scheduled to continue on Tuesday. What the hell? So why did he? Is there any no what would you call it? No motive? Just here's a photo of the people who were killed. It says top left is Maya, and then 2.5-month-old Isabella, and then bottom left is 4-year-old Javen. Bottom left, yeah, Javen, and then Bethany. Yeah, is that right? Maya, Isabella. Yeah. 30-year-old Amanda. Oh, sorry, Amanda is this one. Amanda Clearwater. And this is Javen. And that's Bethany there. Bethany, Isabella, Maya. Okay. Oh, that's really, really sad. It's like just wiped out an entire family. I wonder if that counts as a family annihilator. Like that specific type of criminal or murderer. Let's see what the news clipping says. Let's hear them pronounce the names properly that Ping doesn't pronounce properly.
Shock and disbelief tonight following the killings of 5 people, including 3 children and a teenage girl in southern Manitoba. RCMP officers have arrested a man and charged him with 5 counts of first-degree murder. Live with the latest is CTV's Datin Unger. Datin, who's charged?
Well, Merrily police have confirmed the man charged was the father of the 3 children. And this has left so many in the community heartbroken as they, along with investigators, grapple with how and why this happened. Police tape surrounds a home in Carmen, Manitoba, where children's toys lay scattered in the backyard. Manitoba RCMP says 5 people from the same family were killed over the weekend, leaving the community in shock.
It was terrible news. I can't imagine how something like this could happen in our small community.
According to RCMP, the victims include a 30-year-old woman, her 3 children, a 6-year-old girl, a 4-year-old boy, and a 2.5-month-old girl, and her 17-year-old niece.
Our thoughts are also with the community of Carmen, who are mourning the loss of an entire family.
Police have charged 29-year-old Ryan Howard Manakisik with 5 counts of first-degree murder, a charge that indicates premeditation was involved. The charges have not been proven in court. RCMP Inspector Tim Arsenal confirmed Manakisik is the father of the 3 children and had been the common-law partner to the woman. All 5 victims have yet to be identified by RCMP. The investigation spans a wide area in southern Manitoba. RCMP was called Sunday morning to an area south of Carmen, where the body of the 30-year-old woman was found in a ditch. Hours later, another call, this time just north of Eli, for a report of a car on fire, where RCMP say Manakisik was pulling his 3 children from the vehicle. They were declared dead on scene. The investigation then led officers to a home in Carmen, where the body of the 17-year-old niece was found. RCMP are still working to determine what led up to the killings.
I'm very heartbroken with the loss of our women and the loss of young ones.
This has devastated the community and prompted a call from Manitoba's Premier, Wab Kinew.
And so I call on Manitobans, congregations and spiritual gatherings across the province to pray for this family, to pray for the people of Carmen, to pray for your fellow Manitobans.
Manitoba RCMP say they're still determining the...
I'm sorry, but I can't get over this guy's facial hair and hair. He looks like he should be a cop in the 70s. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I do. It's the suit, it's the mustache, and it's the hair and the eyebrows. He looks like he should be out of like a 70s TV show. He just does. I mean, it's probably cool to someone, but
cause of death for the 5 victims. Autopsies are being conducted today and tomorrow.
Denton, does the accused have a past criminal record?
He does, Merrily. Manakisik is facing 2 counts of impaired driving causing bodily harm dating back to 2021. Those charges are still before the courts. He was also released on supervised probation for a mischief charge going back to 2019.
yeah, something like that, 70s porn. It does, hold on. It really does look like, you know, when Hollywood tried to dress people up and put prosthetics on their face to make them look like they're from the 70s or whatever? That's exactly the vibe I get from his thing. I like his mustache. Hey, how are you? Define Solitude. How are you, Define Solitude? Yeah, like Dallas Buyers Club, right. Well, who was the actor that did that? McConaughey, right? He looks like him, McConaughey. In that movie. In that movie? Hold on. Let's see. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, it does look like him from Dallas Buyers Club. Very similar. You are right. They look almost alike. Maybe he's a relative of McConaughey. Maybe they're friends. Anyway, it just stuck out. I was just like, wow, he does look like a 70s actor. He looks like, yeah, someone like that. But you nailed it. It is that one. All right. Yeah, very sad story. Is there anything else on... How long ago was this posted? It doesn't even have a day. Oh, no, here we go. Published it at 12. Okay, so this was only a couple of hours ago. Is there any... I don't think they would have released any like motive or anything right now. That's too early, right? Winnipeg Free Press Carmen father charged with killing wife, her niece, and 3 young children. Let's check CBC. I know that's a pretty big media company in Canada. There's that photo of the young kids again. Well, someone from Canada will have to tell me, what is a Premier Wabkinu? Is that like a spiritual leader for the area of like First Nation people? What is a Wabkinu? Is a Canadian, it's his name. Wabkinu MLA is a Canadian politician who has served as the 25th Premier of Manitoba. Oh, he's the Premier of Manitoba. Oh, I thought it was like a position, like, I don't know, like, they might have had like a spiritual person for First Nation people. I thought that's what it might have been. But no, he's the 25th Premier of Manitoba. He was elected in October 18th, 2023. So not that long ago is when he was selected. Not that long. That's who he is. It says here, the Manitoba man has been charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of his 30-year-old partner. It is his 3 young children and the relative, which was the niece. So it's his partner's niece was the other girl. Yeah, it is interesting. I know, Amy, you said maybe was it on First Nation land or was it um, within that area? But I don't know. Because you'd think like some of them were scattered around the area. Like she was found in a ditch, the kids were found in the car, and then the other niece was found back at the home. I mean, they were everywhere. There's another photo here from a different localized news source, but I'm trying to see if it's. No, it doesn't. Thought it might have had a better photo of the niece. No, I can't find anything. So they were his daughter, son, and other daughter. And this is the timeline of police response to suspicious deaths in southern Manitoba. All 5 victims and the accused lived together in the community of Carmen. All right, 75 kilometers southwest of Winnipeg. Community of Carmen. What kind of community is it? Okay. Carmen is a small agricultural town of about 3,000 people in Pembina Valley region of southern Manitoba. Carmen is at the juncture of Highways 3 and 13, 40 minutes southwest of Winnipeg. Well, Highway 3 was where one of them was found. They were saying that in the press conference. They're saying the census and the demographics of the area. That's not a very good census. It just said it has a population of 3,114 people, and they live in 1,402 dwellings. So it's like roughly 2 people per dwelling. So it's quite a small town. It's not that many people, only 3,000 people. It's pretty tiny. Maybe that's why it was a delayed response to the bodies. Hey, Leisha, how are you? Yes, it is. It's really sad. Actually, you commented something before. Hold on. Where is it? You said you saw a podcast that was with an Australian ex-homicide detective called All Australian Stories with Gary Jubelin. Gary Jubelin was the original cop that was on the investigation for that missing little boy. I'm having a mental blank right now. But he was on that original investigation. William Terrell. He was the original detective for the William Terrell case. So if you're listening to that podcast and he sounds familiar, that's why. He ended up getting kicked off that case, unfortunately. Hey, I hate mornings. Oh, you had company? I hope you had a good time with your friends. Gambler says it doesn't sound like it was from a reserve. Is that the word they use in Canada for a First Nation owned land? They use the word reserve. Okay, so yeah, it sounds like that area is just a small town, like a small farming town type thing. That's at least what it sounds like from their Wikipedia. You can sort of see like the little houses they have. So apparently he has a history of addiction and mental health issues and was previously convicted of smashing an electronic display at a Winnipeg Tim Hortons while on methamphetamine. That was in 2019. At a court hearing in 2019, he received a conditional discharge after pleading guilty to mischief for destroying the display by throwing glass coffee mugs at it as employees locked themselves in a back office and called 911. Court heard the then 25-year-old struggled with mental health issues that included anxiety and depression. He was ordered to undergo addictions and mental health assessments and take part in any recommended treatment. A judge told him that he had to get help before things spiral completely out of control. If you don't do something, eventually it's going to cost you your family. Wow, that's an eerie premonition, isn't it? That's really eerie. I mean, I guess the judge has just seen it so many times before. He just knows what could happen if you didn't get help. Actually, here the court heard he is a member of Garden Hill First Nation, but had been in foster care since he was 8. He was living with his common law partner and their 2 kids at the time of the Tim Hortons incident. So, does that make him a First Nation person? I guess so. RCMP inspector said officers are still working to piece together a timeline of exactly what happened on Sunday, but said until we have a clearer picture of what occurred and when, we will not be able to provide any details. We understand the what. Now we need to understand the why. That's what takes longer, he said. We're getting to that, but it's going to take some time, and we want to get it right. The charged individual remains in custody. So they sort of show you on the map here. I don't want to keep that for too long. It's very white. I don't want to blind people. Um, Sort of the distances. There's Carmen. There's where one of them was found, and then they're all the way up here, miles and miles away, on the west of Winnipeg, was where one of the other people were found. It says we're called to a hit and run involving a woman on Highway 3. Jeez. It's like he went on a rampage. That's almost what it was, like a rampage. Yeah, they said police now believe the accused was the one to remove his children from the vehicle. Why would he remove his children from the vehicle when he already killed them? It's weird, right? Further investigation then led officers back to the home in Carmen where they found the body of the 17-year-old inside. They said officers are no longer at the scene on the highway, but they remain at the home in Carmen. Yeah. Thanks for sending that to us, Gambler. That's incredibly sad. Anytime you lose children or young women or women at all to this kind of violence, family violence, it needs to be stamped out of our society. We need to find ways to find it quickly and then address it, get people help, get people away from other people who are committing it, that type of thing. Shell Huffman says it's called I Catch Killers. Yeah, it's a good podcast. They may not know, maybe not. Yeah, maybe that was just a miscommunication when someone was on 911, something like that. They were reporting what they were seeing to the 911 operator, and some sort of wires got mixed between what they were saying and what the 911 operator, or whatever it's called in Canada, heard on the phone. And then later on, they were able to, fix it up and find out what actually happened when the detectives got involved because, they have to really know. Oh, actually, did we just say someone had no power? Who was that? Was it Potter? Apparently, 500,000 homes without power amid major Vic outage from thunderstorms. So there you go. The storm I was uh, stopping the stream for earlier actually knocked out 500,000 homes, yeah, with power here in Victoria this afternoon. It was a pretty big storm system that came through. Probably the biggest one all summer. By the way, we've been having some new people drop in. I really appreciate it that they do and that they're leaving a comment. It's very kind of them, and I hope they stick around and hang out with us some more when we do our big show at 9 p.m. Every day 9 p.m. Eastern. We have our main show where we have about five or six cases a night. Some are historic, some are breaking news, and then sometimes we even do breaking news. Someone actually asked me, "Are we going to do high risk tornado days in the US?" And I said, maybe. If people want it, I'll do it. But if people don't want to muddy up true crime with weather, then I won't do it because this is a true crime channel. All right, hold on. Just wanted to adjust my microphone. Yeah, it is very sad, isn't it? Oh, I think we're gonna. What time? How long have we been on for? About an hour? I think we're gonna wind down. This is just the late bonus show for the people who are up super late after they finish their, other things for the night. If you don't have somewhere to go and you want to hang out for a little bit, that's what we do. My cat is behind me. Yeah, I think we're gonna wind up. I'm glad I got to come back and do a few more stories that I didn't do before because of the thunderstorm. That really messed up the last stream. And yeah, I didn't want to leave people hanging or feel like they were shortchanged for the other live stream earlier. I wanted to make it up to everyone. I hate feeling like I didn't do the best job I could. So I think we're gonna wrap up. Have a great night. Have a great night. Be safe out there, and please come back 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. We're gonna hang out some more. I've got two more stories we're going to do tomorrow night, and I'm looking for updates in the case of the woman in Queens in New York, Soho in New York, but she's from Queens. The 38-year-old woman who was found dead in the Soho hotel room. That I'm going to keep a close eye on, and I expect we'll get an update tonight from that. And that'll be really interesting because they got to find the killer for that woman. I can't believe someone is so brazen to murder her, leave her in the hotel room, and then leave their bloody pants at the location. So they just left the place with no pants on. Bizarre. But then we looked it up tonight. They definitely have cameras at that hotel. They will be able to start tracking down this person for sure. And I can't wait till we see what happened, who hurt her, and how can we get them arrested. Hey Kim, good to see you. And even though you only commented something like this, but I'll say hi to you. Define solitude. Thanks for dropping in tonight. I appreciate it. Hey Laura T. Good night, my friend. It's good to see you. All right, Amy. It was good to see you too. Come back again sometime. And yeah, we'll be back 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Okay. See you later, everyone. Good night.